can, kind of go into God's mind. Go into his dreams. The dream he had about you and me and all of us called humanity, sons and daughters of God. He had a dream before foundation of the earth. His view of us was so grand, so captivating, so all-encompassing for him that he didn't think it strange or wrong to give up his son to be murdered on a cross for you. You must be really something. You must be something stupendous. Must be something beyond what we can comprehend at this point. The view God has of you has nothing to do, very little to do, at least in comparison, to our earthly frame. This is just the tent, the house that the real you and the real me live in. And he loves this tent, he loves this house, and this house is going to get transfigured before the ticker stops. And I'm going to say along with Paul, some of you will not die. Because transfiguration will take place. And that, my friend, at least in my infantile perspective, is just the smallest of the first fruits of what God dreams about when he dreams about you and me. His thoughts are so far beyond us that in John 16, he had to say, I would love to tell you what I think about you, but you cannot bear them. How much could you hear without not being able to bear it? You could hear a lot, right? Jesus says, I got a lot more than that. And you can't bear them, so I can't tell you right now. At least that's the way it was in John 16. I believe we're growing up. I believe we can handle more now. But let's pull in one more verse. Again, we're in the heart, the mind of God. We're in the dreams of God right now. Paul, Apostle Paul, was caught up to the third heaven, shown things and heard things that he said weren't lawful to speak of then. Why would that be? I believe it may have something to do with what Jesus just said in John 16. You can't bear them yet. I want to tell you. I want to. It's been my dream. I've been holding my dream in reserve from before dirt. I wanted to spill the beans. I wanted to tell you what I think of you, what you really are, and what you really mean to me. The magnitude and the magnificence of the human spirit transfigured, become a new creation as a son or daughter of God. I want to tell you, oh, it's my desire and my longing. But God told Paul it wasn't lawful yet. Steve, are you ready? And so, my feeling is that those who are uninitiated would have choked. They would have gotten in unbelief, and they might have been stunted or shipwrecked for the rest of their life. And those who are zealots would run headlong over a cliff, grasping for whatever shiny new object. And God says, I don't have a place. You remember what Jesus said in the Gospels? He said, foxes have dens and birds have nests, but the Son of Man has no place to rest his headship. He has no place for the magnitude of his dreams to come to rest. No body, there's no body capable at that time of sustaining the dreams from his headship over the body. But here's a cool verse, Ephesians 4. It says, Jesus gave gifts unto men, equipping the saints, doing the work of the ministry to all come with the faith of God and the knowledge of Christ, and every joint supplying. And then listen to this, until we grow up in all things, what? Even unto the head. Yes, Jesus has got a place to rest his headship. And I believe that is beginning to happen. Jesus said we don't have just earthbound Christians now. We have sons and daughters of God who are learning their heavenly inheritance. They're learning to scope out the land, to walk out the land, become familiar with the land. He says, now I can not only tell you earthly things where you used to choke over those, but now I can begin to tell you heavenly things. Oh, I feel his passion. I feel his delight. Yes, yes, a body, a place to rest my headship, a place to deliver my dreams, a place to let my dreams outwork. A body who believes, yea, even a company of believing believers. Lord, here we are inside of your head, inside of your heart, inside of your dream, wherever your dreams reside. Those dreams are just filtrating around us, marinating us. They're waiting as little tentacles, wanting to go in and find finger holds into our believer system until we become conformed into your dreams. How amazing. How amazing. How amazing that man is finally allowing you to usher us into proximity with you, close enough that you're getting on us and in us, and we're actually getting transformed and yea, even transfigured. Oh, what a marvelous thought. What a most marvelous thought, Father. What a most marvelous thought. And it says in, I think it's Acts, I'm not sure, it says, and after hearing all the stories and seeing all the wonderful, wonderful things, they said, and it was marvelous in our eyes. It's marvelous, God. You're marveling us. You're marveling us. You're bringing us into territories that are stunning. Lord, it's marvel. You're marveling us. You're razzle-dazzling us. You're bringing us into this union with God until the resistances, and we didn't even know we had any. We thought we were doing pretty good. But they're beginning to fall away. And we just say, Lord, here am I. A blank slate, a kindergartner, just write on me. Just write on me, Lord. Write on me. marvel me. I feel like some of the limitations that were put on back in Jesus' day, Scripture, Jesus says, you can't bear them. To Paul, it's not legal to say. But God is watching for the maturity of the body, maturity of the sons and daughters, to see what he can bestow, what next level he can give. Just like a child can only ride his little, we call the little rocking horse in the beginning. He cannot drive a car, but he can do his rocking horse. And then pretty soon he's on a tricycle, And then pretty soon he's on a bicycle. Pretty soon he's a motorcycle, dirt bike, or doesn't matter if you crash, And then one of these days he can drive the car. Every stage along the way he grew into the next level of freedom and empowerment. And so I don't think that everything that was prohibited from the Bible day saints is necessarily prohibited from us. Let me read you. This is 1 Corinthians 2:9. This is a great verse. We know this verse. We read this verse and we stop at the end of this verse. Well, no eye has seen and no ears heard and no mind has ever comprehended things that God has prepared for those who love him, right? And then we stop right there. Like, yeah, it's not to be known. Okay, it's just one of those things you can never know. But the sentence didn't stop. Verse 10. But these are the things God has revealed to us by his Spirit. Who was the one that said stop at the last verse? Who said that?
Religious spirit.
That was a religious spirit. It was a doctrines of demons. They stopped mid-sentence and said, that's good enough for you. But no, these things God has revealed to us by his Spirit. And the Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God. And of course he searches us and he says, I think it's about time. I'm going to open up a door. Yes! We looked and beheld and a door stood open and a voice said, come on up here. So things get revealed to us. So I think the grandioseness, there you go, of our true identity, our DNA, Steve's talking about, is something that is, I believe God is like, I'm going to open up areas now. I'm not going to wait till after your ticker stops and you have to go to heaven. I'm going to let you be in heaven now, and you're going to see the grandiose nature of your identity. Two more things I want to put together here before we go to the communion. Adam was a living soul. Scripture says he was a living soul. But you and I are of the DNA of Jesus, who was a what? A life-giving spirit. Most humans, most products of religion, see ourselves as needy victims or beggars. We have not seen the magnificence of who we are. That we are actually a life-giving spirit. When we got saved, it was not when we got 45 years down the road and got seasoned saint of the sage status. At the moment you got saved, your spirit became a new creation. And from that place is the ability to actually give life. So the reason I'm saying that is, what is all this about? What's the whole day about? It's marinating us sufficiently, hopefully, sufficiently so, to disentangle erroneous concepts of ourselves, of our DNA. That's what we were just talking about in the last 45 minutes. This morning, it was about the magnificence of God. His eye. Remember, we went into his eye. We went into his heart. We went up the waterfall. What was all that about? To push back darkness, to push back unbelief, to push back disbelief, until we finally begin to truly believe. Now, so I'll do this now. I could do this at the end. Maybe we should do it again then. But homework, all right? You ready for homework, class? Let's engage our spirit to give away life. Not as a concept, not as the theology, not as a rhetoric. In truth and in spirit, give away life, even light, virtue, whatever word works for you. Let's do that. Next thing is, if you are of this sufficient status, then this week when stuff happens, you're on your way driving here today and you hear something and you're like, oh no. What we're going to do is like, wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the train and hold the phone, because I want to remind myself that I am of kingly status and stature. I'm going to walk with head and shoulders up above. I'm a ruler over. I'm a co-governor with God. I'm not the beggar trying to entreat God for a couple more quarters by the end of the week. I'm the one who he loves to co-govern with. Okay? So that's our homework. We're going to engage our spirit man to give away life, and we're going to see ourselves kingly, and it's hard to see beyond what we can see, right? But God's thoughts for us are beyond that. So we're going to reach into that. God, I'm so much in your eyes that you didn't think it strange or weird to sacrifice your son for me.